parents. It's a wonderful fall morning this morning. Fall's my favorite time of year. Get some relief from the heat. It's not too cold and it's very beautiful. So happy to see all of your beautiful fall faces here today. In Unity, we begin everything with prayer. Let's all take a centering breath and open to the divine in all of us and listen to this prayer. We celebrate the divine source that lives and breathes within us. We accept ourselves without judgment and accept each other. We acknowledge our place in the environment and care for our sacred mother. We carry peace, share light, and live in joy and thanksgiving. And so it is. Amen. Our prayer chaplains are trained to hold sacred space and pray with you one-on-one. If there's anything in your heart to be held in prayer, we invite you to see a chaplain today following today's service at the front of the sanctuary. And now let's join Holly as we sing, I Start My Day.
Good morning. Why don't we stand together? I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's when I get my love is love. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's when I get my love is love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Let's do that last part. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Let's get some peace in here. I start my day with peace. When I start my day with peace, I feel the sweet release of peace. I start my day with peace. When I start my day with peace, I feel the sweet release of peace. Peace, peace, peace. Peace, peace, peace. Peace, peace, peace. Peace, peace, peace. And now let's say hello, greet one another. We can do that with an elbow back or a bow. Great to see so many of you today. I start my day with love. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's when I get my love is love. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's when I get my love is love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. I start my day with joy. When I start my day with joy, everything I do is infused with joy. I start my day with joy. When I start my day with joy, everything I do is infused suffused with joy. Joy, joy, joy. Joy, joy, joy. Joy, joy, joy. Joy, joy, joy. Let's get some more peace. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy. I feel the sweet release of peace. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy. I feel the sweet release of peace, peace, peace. Peace, peace, peace. Peace, peace, peace. Peace, peace, peace. Can have peace in the turmoil there. Great job, you guys.
And now let's affirm together our reasons for being here. Affirm with me unity's founding principle together. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God, the source of all good. And now our Unity of Lawrence vision statement together. United in divine love and joy, we celebrate a peaceful and abundant world for all. And now our Unity of Lawrence mission statement. We are a thriving spiritual community, sharing love, building bridges, and inspiring transformation. And now I'd like to introduce Kelley Hunt. Kelley is a singer, recording artist, speaker, and workshop facilitator based right here in Lawrence, Kansas. She is currently at work on her 7th album and an additional album featuring songs she's written and performed for New Thought churches throughout the United States. Both are expected to be released in late 2001 or early 2022. Welcome, Kelley.
I want to celebrate the love of the Spirit this morning. Celebrate. I want to celebrate the love of the Spirit this morning. I want to celebrate, you know I do. Celebrate the love of the Spirit, celebrate the love in me. Celebrate the love of the Spirit, celebrate the love in me. Oh, yes I do. How about you? All right. Now I want to celebrate the joy of the Spirit this morning, right now. Celebrate. I want to celebrate the joy of the Spirit this morning. Celebrate. I want to celebrate the joy of the Spirit, celebrate the joy in me, celebrate the joy of the Spirit, celebrate the Spirit in me. Oh, yeah. All right. I want to celebrate the life of the Spirit this morning. To celebrate the life of the Spirit this morning. I just want to celebrate. I want to celebrate the life of the Spirit, celebrate the life in me, celebrate the life of the Spirit, celebrate the Spirit in me, celebrate the love of the Spirit, celebrate the joy of the Spirit, celebrate the life of the Spirit, celebrate the life in me with all right. All right, clap your hands. Come on now. It's a beautiful morning in Lawrence, Kansas, at Unity of Lawrence, y'all. Feels good to be home. Oh, I want to celebrate the love of the Spirit this morning. Celebrate. Well, I want to celebrate the love of the Spirit right here this this morning. Celebrate. You know I want to celebrate the love of the Spirit. Celebrate the love in me. Celebrate the love of the Spirit. Celebrate the love in you. Celebrate the love of the Spirit. Celebrate the joy in me. Celebrate the love of the Spirit. Celebrate the love in me. Celebrate. All right. Okay. Man, I don't know how long it's been since we've been able to do something like that together, but it sure feels good to do it this morning. I'll tell you that much. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. What if I told you that there not only isn't a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow isn't what you think? So you're looking at me crazy because we've all seen a rainbow, but you know, the rainbow is one of nature's strongest optical illusions. The rainbow is really just a reflection of light through a droplet of water. And whenever we see a rainbow, it may or may not actually be there. Everybody sees it from a different angle. So when you're seeing a rainbow, actually, if you change your position or you were in another part of the country, you might be standing under a rainbow. There might be multiple rainbows. So rainbows are formed when water droplets in the atmosphere refract, or they bend the sunlight in just the right circumstances, and it has to be just right. The sunlight has to be behind you, and the rain is in front of you. So the rainbow reminds me of portent, which means the storm is always going to pass, and rainbows don't show up in the middle of a storm. We obviously see that refraction of light, but it's what we interpret it to be, and everybody sees it differently. Think about what a rainbow means to you. Rainbows can mean hope, they can mean joy, they can mean relief. Sometimes some folks feel like it's a sign of some sort, even a symbol of eternity. I live in an area outside of Lawrence, and for some reason, our little box on the prairie is positioned just right so that every time there's even an inkling that there might be a rainbow, we usually get one and sometimes two rainbows. So we're all familiar with the idea of the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. And we might think that that started in Ireland, because we see those images and we hear those stories during St. Paddy's Day. I'm half Irish, hence the name Kelley Jean. And all my siblings, Eric, Michael, Chris Ann, Stacy Lynn. And we come from a branch of the family from the Timmins family in Ireland, who I think originally were called O'Timmins. And when they came to the United States, the O got dropped because of some of the thinking about immigrants, something that we are living today in other ways. So the idea of the pot of gold goes far, far back, and even as far back as the 17th century. But here's the thing. Supposedly, the Irish
were fond of saying this, that one was as likely to find a pot of gold as to find the end of the rainbow. The expression was somehow changed and became part of kind of the fairy mythology. And somehow it got turned around that said, oh yeah, if you can find the end of the rainbow, there's a pot of gold, y'all. You better get to it. So, but science tells us that rainbows don't have an end since their arch shape is an illusion. It's an illusion what you're seeing. Have you ever tried to, did you ever learn Roy G. Biv? Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. So it's fun, to see a rainbow and say, Roy G. Biv in the house. But actually, no matter how hard you try, you can never get close enough, ever, to a rainbow to see its end, but don't despair. Depending on how you look at it, it could also mean that there are an infinite number of rainbows in the sky when conditions are just right, and you could be standing at the end of the rainbow right now. It's all about our perception. The third unity principle that many of us know is thoughts create experiences. Human beings create their experiences by the activity of their thinking. Everything in the manifest realm has its beginning where? In our thoughts. We, all of us here and everybody watching online, we are co-creators with God, creating reality through thoughts held in mind. We create our life experiences through our way of thinking. So somebody might come out after a big storm and see a rainbow in the sky and think, that's my sign that things are going to be okay. Somebody might see it and pay no attention to it. Somebody might see it and think, hey, I need to find an end of that rainbow. I need to strive and work and find that pot of gold. Things are not so great in my life. This brings to mind the idea that I don't have enough. A friend of mine was on a trip, and he was up in an airplane. This was probably, 4 or 5 years ago. And he was coming home from a business trip, and he looked out of the window of the plane, and he looked down. You know how if you've ever flown, you've seen those clouds and beautiful formations, and sometimes you'll see a thunderhead, and it's just astonishing. Sometimes when I was flying on a regular basis, which I haven't been since March of 2020, I would look out and I would imagine that all those popcorn clouds were the ground, and it looked like a whole new place, a whole new city. But my friend Ken was looking out the window, and he looked down at the clouds, and he saw a round rainbow. He saw the whole thing because he was above it looking down on it. And he'd never seen anything like that before, and actually I never had either when he came home, and he told us about that. His wife told us about that. And for some reason, I wanted to know what those things were called. It's a rainbow, but here's the whole thing. What in the world is called a glory? It's called a Glory. A glory. And so he doesn't have any idea what it looked like from the ground looking up. In fact, it may or may not have been visible. But from where he was, he saw the whole thing. If you go online, you'll be able to see pictures of glories. And it just tickles me that it's called that. It's called a glory. So that may have been what he said when he saw it. Can you imagine? Oh my gosh. So when we are looking for the pot of gold at the end of a rainbow, just the mythology of it, just the metaphor of it, it keeps us busy. It keeps us focused elsewhere. It can wear us thin. And it can make us feel like the grass is always greener on the other side. We can't always see that whole picture. So the rainbow that we may have seen from the ground could have been just a little arch. But what he was seeing was the whole thing. And in a way, it was infinite. There was no end to it. There was no pot of gold. The rainbow was the pot of gold. Things aren't always what they seem to be. So this brings to mind the importance of understanding that our perspective is unique to us. It has to do with what has happened in our life before. What are our thoughts about why we're here, what we're here to do? What are we experiencing that helps us look at something differently? Somebody else might not have even noticed that glory. I love calling it glory. Did you see the glory? Why, yes, I did. You know? But when we get focused on the idea of the pot of gold or the reward or the thing at the end of that thing that we have to strive for, we have to work for, we don't always have to strive for the next best thing. The grass isn't always greener if we water it where we stand. We water it where we stand. The gold at the end of the rainbow, we all know that's a myth. But the idea of wanting something that's not there and striving and working so hard in that can take our eyes off the prize. And I would say it can take our eyes off the glory of what's in front of us, what's here right now, what's happening right in this moment. If we replace the search and the striving and the work and all the thought and energy into what isn't here yet, or what may actually just be a story or a myth, we miss what's right in front of us. So when we hear the line that says, somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I've heard of once in a lullaby. This reminds us, while we're busy searching, believing in fairy tales, the real gift is right before our eyes. The search keeps us in motion. And if we could consider the idea of perhaps replacing that motion with a stillness of heart, that might be more beneficial. So today, when I walked in this building, I thought, boy, it is so nice to be home. It is so great to be here, even though since March of 2020, I've been home most of the time, as have we all. And that's been a big change for me. And it's been a big change for all of us. But the relief of getting to just walk in the building, and we're masked here, we're distanced from each other, we're taking good care of each other's physical well-being. And I've often said, and I'm trying to become aware and conscious of what my words are when I say this. Oh, won't it be great when we don't have to do all this stuff, and then we can just come trotting in and hug each other, and we can sing in a choir again safely and do all these things. But what I'm missing when I say that is you and you and you and you and those who are watching online. I'm missing that. I'm not feeling of the moment that here I am standing on the platform. Here I am getting to talk to people that I love and care about in my own home church, Unity of Lawrence. You guys are the rainbow, and I don't want to miss that. Roy G. Bibb is in the house right here, right now. And doesn't that feel good? Doesn't it feel great? There was a time when we were out on the road and we were doing a lot of traveling, and we happened to see, and this was really kind of surreal, in the parking lot of our hotel that we were staying at, which was after a storm, and the sun was behind us, the rain was in front of us, and we could see a rainbow from our hotel room, from the window. And I just wanted to get outside for a minute and smell that fresh air. You know how it smells so great after the rain? You just, oh, it just smells good, feels good. And I'd been on the road for a while, so I thought, I'm just going to step outside, get a little fresh air, and have a look at this thing. And when I did, I had the first time experience of seeing that rainbow landed in the parking lot. It landed right there. I thought, what is this? So I walked right up to it. The closer I got, the less I could see it. And when I was standing in the place that I thought was the end of that rainbow, it was gone. When I backed up a little bit, and I could see it just right because the refraction or the bending of the light through those water droplets was just right for me to see that thing. And that was the first time I realized, well, sometimes when we need to really know something, we've got to experience it for ourselves. I don't know about you, but that helps me a lot. I need to walk through it. I need to be hands-on. So when I got closer and closer to that rainbow ending right here, and I thought, boy, I'm going to stand right in it. I didn't know what I thought would happen. I'd stand there and I'd see all these colors and, But what happened was, it was an illusion. The closer I got, the more I tried to get a hold of it in a sense and participate with it and own it. The more it disappeared, the more it faded. I had to back up to appreciate it. I had to have a different perspective to understand. When I was 15, I had a near-death experience. I was technically dead for 3 minutes. And nobody could have told me before that what that experience would have been like. And I understand that experience is different for anybody that has it. I'm not saying anybody else had the same experience as me. But it sure happened. I was 15. And during that time when I was technically, gone, I had the greatest experience ever. I was comfortable. I felt warm. I felt a sense of belonging and unconditional love that I hadn't really ever experienced on earth. And I grew up in a very loving, unconditionally loving family. I thought I knew what that felt like. I had no idea. And during that 3 minutes, my experience was, what's this? I wasn't conscious of the fact that I was dying, technically dying. I couldn't see or hear anything in this realm here that we're in now. But boy, it was a great experience. And for me, I was given the opportunity and given the choice whether or not I wanted to go on, which, boy, I got to tell you, it was really tempting because I wasn't conscious of the fact that I was leaving anything behind. I was going toward that pot of gold. I was like, oh my God, there it is. But when I was given the choice, in my experience, to stay or leave, it was as if I felt a pair of warm, loving hands on my face that turned my face this way so I could look way down there and see me surrounded by my family. And suddenly I had that millisecond thought, oh my gosh, I'm dying. I made the choice at that time, get back in that body, Missy, get back in there. And what I didn't realize as soon as I did that, it would hurt. It was like being a baby being born, taking the air in my lungs. It hurt. Like that. And then I got scared because here I was in my human body. There's my dad who was a medic in the Navy, had his hand in my mouth. I was swallowing my tongue and all kinds of things were happening. He was saving my life. I had my hands dug into my brother's arms so hard that I was bruising him. I didn't know any of this at the time. And man, the minute I made that choice to come back, I said, oh, child, I'm in now. And that will was so strong. But here's the cool thing about that. And of course, I was scared. I was absolutely scared at that moment. But when I realized that I was going to be okay, I could take a breath. Yeah, it hurt. It hurt like being born. We just had our first granddaughter born on Tuesday. Yes, yes, indeed. And I think about her. Her name is Isabel Hazel Hunt. And they wanted to hear that first cry from her. They wanted to hear her little lungs fill with air. And it didn't feel good. But the more she did it, the better it felt. Pretty soon she was just pink as a little peach and doing great, and she's thriving. And I thought, you know what? All of us somewhere have experienced that first breath. What'd that feel like? And so now when I think about those experiences, I think, you know what? And I told all my friends, I was 15, you guys. This was crazy talk coming from a 15-year-old, except for my parents. They all just said, okay, well, that's good to know. It wasn't patronizing. They accepted it. I actually lost friends over this in high school when I said, look, here's the deal. I died. This is what happened. Everything was cool. I'm not afraid of it anymore. I wasn't crazy about what got me to that point. But at some point, my experience was so much better than what was happening around me. It was much harder on my family. Believe me, it really was. Me, I was like, yeah, I'm going to the pot of gold. Here we go. You know, I felt great. And this just helped me throughout my life to understand that at some point, if anyone's experience is like mine, and I don't know if it is, I'm okay to be with them during that moment. I'm okay to be there. And I've been there many times with others. Because from my perspective, that rainbow of that life is arcing and arching them towards that pot of gold. And they're going to be okay. And so am I. So for that, I am grateful. And I want to suggest that we become conscious of what we're searching and striving for, and just take a moment to simply be still. Be still for a sec. And that is a different feeling for many of us over the last few years because of social media and our phones and what we're exposed to or what we expose ourselves to. But even if you can just do it for 60 seconds, take a walk. Take a walk. Literally walk away from it for a while. Next time you see a rainbow, and you know what? We might see one today. We're supposed to get some rain. Just simply stop and take it in and appreciate that beautiful gift. What a gift. You were in the right place at the right time, and the light was bending just perfectly so you could see Roy G. Biv up in the sky, or even just a little piece of it. When we see the actual end of the rainbow, really, it's just what is right before us. The ground it lands on is us. We are there. And remember, don't miss all the beautiful colors of the rainbow while searching for that pot of gold. It'll show up soon enough. And when it does, I tell you, it will be astonishing. It will be amazing. I'd like to end with a quote from one of my favorite authors, Irish authors, John O'Donohue. And this is an excerpt from one of his books, and he says, "May you recognize in your life the presence, power, and light of your soul. May you realize you are never alone, that your soul in its brightness and belonging connects you intimately with the rhythm of the universe. May you have respect for your individuality and difference. May you realize that the shape of your soul is unique, that you have a special destiny here, that behind the facade of your life, there is something beautiful and eternal happening." So before we go into meditation, I'm going to play a song for you that was inspired Messiah glory. So I want you to get comfortable in your chairs. And if you're online, wherever you are, get comfortable in your environment. Take a nice deep breath. Just take that breath. You've been standing in the rain for such a long time. Walking the lonesome road. Wondering if you can ever mend. Carrying such an unbearable load. When the dark clouds drifted down into your heart, and all you could do was pray. How could you know the skies would clear and love would find a way? A round rainbow is called a glory. What you survive in life is called a story. You only see the arc of it after the storm. To see the whole miracle, you've got to hold on. The workaday miracle is where you belong, where you belong. Hold on, hold on. The workaday miracle is where you belong, where you belong. Just hold on, hold on. Workaday miracle is where you belong. It's where you belong. Hold on, hold on. So let's take another deep breath and another. And if you're comfortable, close your eyes. And imagine walking outside and looking toward the sky and feeling that sun and warmth on your back. And seeing a gentle rain in front of you, far enough away that you're dry and safe. And you breathe. And as you look up to the sky, you see red, orange, yellow and green, blue and indigo, and violet. And you step into that beautiful light, free from worry, free from care. And your body relaxes and you breathe. And for just that moment, all is well. And you step back a little further. And you can see it arch above and around in a big circle. Around this whole planet that we call home. And suddenly you realize there are others looking at the same sight. And you breathe and breathe together. And in your mind's eye, you see the others and realize that you are there together and you are not alone. And slowly and carefully and with ease, your body relaxes as you ease yourself back to that spot of ground you were standing on originally. And you come home to where you are right now. And you breathe. And you look at that beautiful rainbow and you say, thank you. And you understand that you are blessed and whole and safe. And gradually you get back into that body and you stretch a little bit and you gradually open your eyes and take another deep breath. And today be on the lookout. For that rainbow, not only in the sky, but all around you in the eyes of the people that you will cross paths with today, and you say, aha, I see you. and we say, glory, glory, glory. And so it is. I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. And gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. I think I can make it now. The pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is that rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. Look all around, nothing but blue sky. Look straight ahead, nothing but blue sky. I can see clearly now, you know the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Now here is that rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Oh, yes, it is.
Thank you, Kelley. As our ushers come forward for our time of thanks, I invite you to join me as we hold our gifts to this community in our hands and love in our hearts as we affirm together. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. If you would like to use a debit or credit card, please stop by the office, or you can give online via PayPal. Thank you. As the love offering is collected, let's join Holly in singing Return Again.
As Kelley was talking, I realized, now I know why we chose this song today. Sometimes I find out in the moment, which is great. Return again, return again, return to the land of your soul. Return again, return again, return to the land of your soul. Return to what you are, return to who you are, return to where you are, born and reborn again. Return again, return again, return to the land of your soul. Return to the land of your soul.
As our ushers come forward, please listen to our prayer of thanks. Grateful, grateful, grateful. We bless the flow of good that supports our Unity community. We bless the givers who give their time, talent, and treasure. We stand in the knowing that the flow of good goes forth, only to return again and again. And so it is. Amen. And now our opportunities. I'd like to give a special welcome to our guests today. Thank you for joining us. If you're here for the first time, please pick up a welcome packet in the lobby as you're leaving. There is a weekly open meditation group in the sanctuary that meets on Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. The sessions are open to all and are very beneficial for beginners. Phil Roger has practiced and taught meditation in various forms for over 50 years. Masks are required and everyone is invited. Join us for Unity's book club meeting this Thursday, October 28th at 6:30 p.m. on Zoom to discuss Chapter 7 of the book Creating a World That Works for All by Sharif Abdullah. For the Zoom link to the meeting, please go to our website, unityoflawrence.org, or look for the event on our Facebook page. We will be meeting for the next 2 weeks, looking at a chapter per week. The Sunday Drum Circle is today from 1:30 to 2:30 in the sanctuary. This is a monthly drum circle open to anyone interested in this spiritual practice. If you would like to participate, you will need to bring your own drum or any percussion instrument, or you can just come and listen. Masks are required. Everyone is invited. Join us in November for a new membership class for all who are interested. Reverend Edna Mosier will be conducting the class on Zoom. For more information, pick up a flyer in the lobby. The Lunch Bunch is meeting at the Merc at 901 Iowa Street. All are welcome. Please join us next week as Bob Seema and Shannon Plummer join us via video and bring us special music and the message, "What does your lantern illuminate?" Now it's time to sing in our youth. Do we have youth today? Looks like we do. Join us in singing "You Are Walking in the Light."
You are walking in the light, in the light, and the light. You are walking in the light, in the light of God. In the light, 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 in the light of God.
Kelley, do you have the handheld?
Well, good morning. Today's lesson was talking about experiencing the rainbow. Isn't it quite? This is my little rainbow this morning. He came in just as bright and bushy-tailed and so full of excitement, and this was the lesson, experiencing the rainbow. So our affirmation today is what?
God helps me see the beauty in everything.
God helps me see the beauty in everything. Our lesson today was concerning Noah. And in the lesson, we found out that God spoke to Noah, I'm sorry. God spoke to Noah. I didn't listen to the lesson very well. Yes, okay. He spoke to this man this morning. And he told him that it was going to rain. And isn't it a coincidence that it rained last night and it thundered and it lightning and everything else? But we didn't see a rainbow, not yet. So we yet have something to expect, right? So when God promises or speaks things to us, we need to listen and just follow the instruction and do that which he has spoken to us to do. It's not all the time that you get promise, or the promise is there, but it's not all the time a reward that actually comes immediately. So we have to learn to wait. Doggone it. We got to wait. We did an experiment this morning, and we placed M&Ms around a plate, poured water in the center of it, and guess what happened with these M&Ms? It began to change colors or bring out the color from the M&M, and it just ran through. It was the most beautifulest thing I had ever experienced and seen. So we experienced something of a making of a rainbow after the rain. So we were told in the lesson today not to expect rewards all the time. You know, so the reward on that experiment was don't expect to eat those M&Ms that fast either. You're not going to get those M&Ms. It was just an experiment. But quiet as kept. Don't tell Lyrian that he's going to have some M&Ms afterwards. Okay. So in the midst of it all, we just need to learn how to be patient when throughout life, going through life. Sometimes good things happen. Sometimes not so good things happen. But in everything, it all works out for the good of us. So just continue to be patient, continue to love one another, and just obey what God tells us to do. And that ends our lesson.
Thank you, Ms. Twyla. Congregation, let's bless our youth. Please rise together. We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the divinity in you.
Love you. We bless you. We appreciate you.
Behold the divinity in you.
Because our vision is celebrating a peaceful and abundant world for all, let's join in and sing the original peace song.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, peace that was meant to be, with God as Creator, when we all are weak. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be to take each moment and give each moment peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Let's repeat together the prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The presence of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
I can see clear